How we doing, everybody? This is yours truly, Bobby Gaines, here to talk a little Mall Tour 2021, the final stretch, as I've been advertising pretty much all year, but it's actually flown a little bit under the radar until recently. And obviously I felt the need to come out of my silence, which is quote-unquote, because I seem to love to hear myself talk. But this is actually only the third episode of the Shall We Talk series, and it's going to be one that I focus on two very big mall tours that I went on recently. Now, of course, the big story, literally, is the American Dream Mall. Like, you feel that? That's the future. We're breathing the future. Freaking love you, American Dream Mall. You are the shit. This was the second largest mall in the country. I was even blown away by that. I thought it was in the top 5. I did not realize it was actually the top 2. American Dream Mall has had a tumultuous history, which I kind of touch on in the video, but not really that much. This mall was I guess it's been on and off in construction for many years now in New Jersey, right near Giant Stadium in East Rutherford. Finally, it was supposed to open in 2019, 2020, but of course the pandemic delayed it. And then even when it opened, it only had a few stores open. So originally, American Dream Mall was supposed to be one of the first malls of Mall Tour 2020. And then we ended up going to the Westfield Garden State Mall, which was also a really great mall. But this was always on the list of malls, this being American Dream. But before I get to that, and I know I just kind of started that just to backtrack even more, the final tour to Palisades Mall. And I apologize in advance if I confused anybody with that trailer about Palisades called The Final Tour, because I actually got a comment on the video initially by a user who was, basically wishing me well, as if that was the final mall tour. But no, it was not the final mall tour, obviously, but it was the final tour of Palisades. And Palisades holds a lot of significance to me, too, because when I first saw that mall in 2016 with Trevor, I just had this, huge, wonderment, wow, this is incredible, this is awesome. Because to that point, in mall tour history, as it were, I've been to some pretty decent-sized malls, but, mostly just in Connecticut and Rhode Island and a couple in New York. But this was needless to say, this is easily the biggest mall I've ever been to. The incredible ropes course of the mall, an obstacle course of death-defying proportions. That is so ridiculous. Nothing else I'd ever seen at the time, Palisades, in 2016. And then, of course, 2017, I hit Destiny USA, which was another really big mall. And, so on and so forth. But getting to return to Palisades, which I've done a few times since that initial visit, and they've always been fun. I went back in 2017 with Caitlin and Angela. I went back in 2019 with John Lee during Christmas season. And then this past season, not 2020, but 2021, because of everything that's been going on, I got to see Trevor and Aisley again, which was awesome. It's how we started this new mall tour season, and it's how we've continued it. And this might have been my favorite tour of Palisades. It's really close between this and the 2017 trip, but this was, I couldn't have asked for much of a better tour of that mall. We hit everything. We saw everything. We even went to see a movie. We saw Cruella in the AMC theater in the mall. We rode the Ferris wheel, which has been kind of a tradition since 2017. But more than that, and I mentioned this at various points in the mall tour, how it's starting to hit me that this is the final one and everything. That feeling had kind of, I don't want to say faded, but after Mall Tour 2020 kind of wrapped as far as that calendar year, and I started planning this last stretch of it, John Lee and I hit a couple malls, not to go too far back, but, we hit malls in Albany, Poughkeepsie, Queens, New York, and then Palisades. Something about Palisades really hit home for me. Because like I mentioned, this was my favorite mall, and still, it's still up there. This was my favorite mall when I first saw it in 2016. So to see it again, and see it with Trevor and Aisley, and what I'd actually seen it with Trevor before, Aisley obviously had not. John Lee had been there with in 2019, saw it again with him, and we just saw all kinds of wonderful stores. We saw these weird, twisted Sonic toys. We saw, just everything. Everything can happen on these mall tours. That's why I always love them. And so the final mall tour to Palisades was about as perfect as it could be, and like I've been saying the whole time, and I hate to keep repeating myself, this final season of mall tours, given all the stuff we've been up against, has gone better than expected, and there's still more to come, but more on that in a second. Palisades, I can't say enough great things about that mall, and obviously, this isn't the last time I'm ever going to go to Palisades. It's not the last time I'm ever going to go to any of these places. It's just, the mall tour spirit and it winding down is finally starting to hit me a little bit, and well, there'll be plenty of time to reflect on that later, because I'm still in the mode. Mall tour the mall tour finality is starting to hit me, but it's not there yet. Now, I know that's weird to say with like 4 more to go, 3 more to go, but after Palisades was the big one, or one of them, American Dream. And that was the one, I wanted to go there, obviously. It was one of those things where it's a long drive. It's about 3 hours from Connecticut, something like that. So, it was something, we weren't going to stay overnight, but we were going to, make a day of it. And make a day of it we did. We got there about noon. And, okay, first of all, I can't not address this.
Oh, wow, look at that. He's so happy right now.
So, like my initial reaction to seeing them all, and, like, John Lee's comment, like, he's so happy right now, like, that was genuine. I know it seems like that might have been scripted, or, like, I was just, act dramatic here, but no, that was my genuine reaction to seeing that mall. I will never forget that moment. And that was just the first, like, 10 minutes of us being there. Like, I will never forget that first moment. You don't get that back. That same as Palisades. I had a similar reaction to first seeing Palisades. But, this mall, American Dream, and like I mentioned, it's still a work in progress. I think only, I don't know what percentage, but only a certain percentage of the stores were even open in it. But what was there was spectacular. I loved all the different styles of mall. I loved the lighting. I loved, you all you have to do is watch the video to know what I loved about it. But talking more on the personal side of it, once again, grateful to John Lee for coming on the trip. Again, I realize it's a 3-hour drive. It's a little out there. My friends, again, Trevor and Aisley, met us there. We played some awesome mini golf. John and Trevor got some bubble tea. It was again, just another great time that I feel like, we could have had anywhere, but we had it at the second largest mall in the country. That still blows my mind. And I don't know the exact number of malls in America total. It's a lot, I'm sure. That's, even just in this area, like Connecticut being a small state, we have 13 malls. I've been to all of them, by the way. Smaller states have less, et cetera, et cetera. But this is the second largest mall, not in New Jersey, in the entire country that we went to. That's still blowing my mind. This mall had a theme park in it. It had a Nickelodeon land. It had a water park. It had the mini golf. Like, any one of these things could be an entire mall in Connecticut, and yet this entire complex was its own thing. So, as you'd expect, I'm going to release more videos specifically from the American Dream Mall Tour, because there was just so much footage. So much footage. I could have made like a 2-hour mall tour video out of it. As it was, I cut it down to a more respectable 45 minutes, which is still pretty long, but I don't know if any amount of time would have really done justice to what was done there. And that mall, as I mentioned, is still a work in progress. I can't wait to go back someday. Because like I said, I'm not going to stop going to malls, but I can't wait to go back and see it when it's even more completed. Because as it was honestly breathtaking. And the fact that I got to experience this, so close to the end of the run. Because make no mistake about it, we're near the end of the run. I keep saying that. And it feels like, Mall Tour 2020 or 2021 has dragged on forever. And maybe that's done on purpose. Maybe, because it's the last season, I'm really squeezing every last drop out of it. But, even I run out of juice at some point. And, like I said, we're down to the final 4 now. I made a trailer for that as well. And, yeah, no, I'm so out of breath from it. Those 2 mall tours really, reminded me of why this is so exciting. What I love about it so much, and just that I can't wait to reveal what's to come, because obviously I know what the final 4 malls are. I know what the last one is. I know what they all are. And it's been killing me not to say it, but it's just, in the meantime, I've enjoyed every second of this. I try not to look at the next one. When I'm on a mall tour, I'm at that mall. Whatever it is, I'm planning for it, doing it. Even after it, especially after American Dream. I needed to take a few days to just be like, did that really just happen? Did I really just do that? I let it process, So as much as my mind likes to plan ahead, which is good, I'm not, jumping ahead or anything. I'm still in the mindset of, let's do this thing, shall we tour, all that good stuff. So I'd love to hear your comments about what you thought of the American Dream Mall Tour and the Palisades Mall Tour. 2 of my favorites of this season, by far. American Dream might be my favorite mall that I've ever been to in my life. That's not even an exaggeration. So, again, just really kind of want to emphasize the point that, yes, we've had a really nice mall tour, and I don't say that in a mean way, but last year we saw a lot of the malls we've seen before. We saw West Farms, we saw Providence Place, we saw them all. We saw Natick, we saw some really nice malls. But this year, this is the one I'm taking seriously. Not that I wasn't taking last year seriously, but I think these last two mall tours proved that, this is the final season, and I am all in. I hope you are too. We'll see where the road takes us, but it's been incredible, and I just had to stop and just really appreciate what we did not that long ago. So, again, hope to have you all on the ride as we get down to this Final Four. Thank you guys so much for watching Valley Productions 2021 and onward. If you have any questions for me, any comments, please leave them below. I do check them out. So yeah, just stay safe out there. Shall we tour? Let's keep it going.